Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I am bringing you July's episode of Fab Five that I do as a collab with Jan Van, my Janny Boo. Of course, I will link her channel in my description box. If you have yet to go to Jan's channel to subscribe, I highly recommend doing so because she is absolutely amazing and she's very special to me, and to do this with her every month is so fun. So if you're new here and you're not exactly sure what Fab Five means, basically what we do is we randomly generate 5 palettes out of our collection, choose those randomly, and then we go a step further and we choose one shade at random out of each palette to put our eye looks together, and then we answer a bunch of random questions. And this time around, we have a bunch of questions from our baby bear, Shani. I'll link her channel and her video where she answered these questions in the description box as well. And she tagged Jan and I to do this on our channels, and we're ding-dongs and I don't know, but we're finally answering the questions that Shani put together. So the only real rule that we have is if we randomly choose a shade out of a palette and then we choose the exact same shade out of the next palette, then we would keep generating until we get 5 unique shades. So like if I selected like a dark brown matte out of one palette, and then I selected another dark brown matte that they're the same tones, then we keep generating. Okay, you're like, we get it, Erica, we get it. Okay, so I have all of my palettes written down in this notebook. I have 198 palettes, so I'm gonna go into my random generator app and just start randomly choosing 5 palettes. Okay, so the first one is 113. Okay, so that is, oops, I went too far. And I went to, let's see, 113 is the Odin's Eye Hella palette. Okay. All right, Odin's Eye Hella palette. That's a good one, I like that. Okay, palette number 2 is 111. All right. That is the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. Okay. Number 3, palette number 3. I'm probably getting confusing now. Number 19, that is the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette. Palette number 4, 86. Okay. 86. That is the Ladybug Glow Pond Lily palette. Ooh, hoo, hoo, fun. Okay, last palette, palette number 5 is number 30. Okay, and that is the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. Holy crap. Okay, I got some good palettes. So I'm gonna go grab those off my shelves and out of my drawers, and then I will randomly choose one shade out of each palette. Hang tight. Okay, so I have all the palettes. They're all sitting right here. Now I'm gonna generate one shade out of each palette at random. Okay, so Natasha Denona Mini Glam. Now this shade is broken, so I'm not gonna try not to tip it and stuff because I don't want that to go bonkers. Okay, so there's 5 shades here. So change that to 5 and then generate 3. Okay, so that is this beautiful shimmer right here. It's kind of brownish shimmer shade. Okay, and I'm sure there's a shade name, but I don't want to flip the palette over because I'm afraid I'm going to lose the shade, you know? So just put 3 down. Okay, I don't know what the shade name is. Gotta be real careful with that palette. Okay, the next one is the Hella palette from Odin's Eye in collaboration with Angelica Nikavist, and there is 16 shades in here. Yep. Okay, so 16, generate. 13. Okay, so 8, 12, this is the, ooh, okay. That is the shade Double Sided. Okay, that might go in my inner corner. We'll see. Maybe not. Who knows? What's it called? Double Sided. Okay. All right. There's that one. I have my highlighter pen because I can't find another pen in here. Okay. Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette. There is 20 shades in here. Okay. 20. Done. Generate. 16. Okay. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 16. Ooh, okay. Dandy. All right. Dandy. Okay. The next palette, I have no idea what I'm going to do. The next palette is Pond Lily from Ladybug Glow, and this has 12 shades. Okay, so 12. Generate. 12. Okay, and that's, ooh, that's gorgeous. And that, excuse me, Choked on my own spit. Okay, that is Tadpole. Okay, awesome. Tadpole. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with these shades. Okay, now my last palette is the Midnight palette from Beauty Bay. Oops. Okay, and there's 42 pans in here, and it's enormo. Okay, so 42. 42, done, generate. 12. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, that's nice. That's Catch. It's kind of a, I don't know, what do you call it? Purpley lavenderish? Sure, Catch. Okay. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay. What was the shade that I got out of the Beauty Bay Dandy? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then, okay. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be really weird because I think what I'm going to have to do. Okay. So I'm going to start off with using the, oops, I'm going to end up with this all over the floor. Here, let me do a couple things here. Let me get rid of this notebook and then I'll put, okay, much better. Okay, so I'm going to start off by using a shade out of the shade out of the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette, but I got to pull up my questions here. So I'm going to take a moment off camera and get this set up. Okay, so I have the questions pulled up. I do have both brows done in the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel, and both eyelids are primed in the P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor 02. I'm going to do both eyes on camera because we have 18 questions to answer. I'm going to try not to take 5 hours answering the questions. So, okay, starting off by putting Dandy in my outer V and maybe into my crease a little bit too. Let me make sure that, yeah, this is pretty creasy because I've had this on my eyelids for a hot minute here, getting everything all figured out. And it does get a little creasy if you don't just go right in on top of it. Okay, so the first question is, and like I said, Shani has answered these questions on her channel. I will link her channel or her video. Well, yeah, her channel and her video in my description box. Okay, let's get going. Number 1, if aliens were to land on Earth, what would you tell them? Run. Get out of here. Earth is a crazy place, I'm telling you. I mean, I first of all, I'd want to know, like, what are you guys doing here exactly? Like, what's happening? Why are you here? And then I'd say, I don't know that you guys really want to be here because there's lots of crazy stuff going on Earth most times. But, you know, lots of stuff going on right now that I don't know that you want to be around for. So maybe get back in your little spaceship and zoom on out of here is what I would say. Absolutely. Because, yeah, I just don't know that anybody from another planet would want to come hang out here right now. No thanks. Number 2, if you had to hide an elephant, where would you hide it? Oh my God. I mean, how do you hide an elephant? I would say in my garage maybe, but we've got a bunch of crap in my garage that we need to actually get rid of. Namely, we have one of those like arcade game basketball hoop games where there's a bunch of, there's like 6 little mini basketballs and there's 2 of the hoops, and then you shoot the hoops and you shoot the balls, and every time it goes through the hoop, it goes ding, 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 and it keeps score. We have one of those in my garage that my son and daughter used to play with when they were younger. And it short-circuited one time out in the garage, and it started going ding, 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 ding. It scared the crap out of my husband and I. We were like, what is that? So we had to like unhook all the wiring and stuff, and it's crazy. I mean, I can't imagine how that battery was still functioning in there. Well, there's a few batteries. But anyway, it was so funny. We were like, what the hell? That was a few years ago. But anyway, so we need to get rid of that because nobody uses it. We were going to save it for my grandson, and we might, I don't know. But if we do, we're going to send it down with mommy and daddy because we're just sick of it being out in the garage because we can't really use our garage for much because it's just full of crap. So, I mean, if my garage was empty, then I'd say, yeah, let's put the elephant in there, but it's not. So I don't know. That might be a little tricky for the elephant to hang out in there, you know? And I know this is looking pretty messy, but just give me a minute because I'm going to make it look better, hopefully. I'm going to leave that like that for now. And I'm going to grab another brush, this one here, and I'm going to go into the shade out of the Pond Lily palette. No, not the Pond Lily palette, not yet. I'm going to go into the Midnight palette, and I'm going to go into the shade here, Catch, and put that around the outside of that. Okay, number 3, what would motivate you to run a marathon? If somebody were chasing me with a knife, that would motivate me to run a marathon. I mean, I used to run, when I was younger, I was on the track team, but I didn't do long distance, okay? I did like the 100-meter dash, run, whatever, race. And then I did high jump, long jump, triple jump. I was pretty good at high jump. I was really good at high jump until I wasn't good at high jump anymore. You know, like when I was in grade school and middle school into high school, I was a really good high jumper. And then by the time I was like sophomore, junior in high school, there were just girls that were better than me. They kicked my ass. So then I was like, and I got into dance team, and that was much more fun. But anyway, yeah, I don't like this brush. This brush sucks. Hold on, let me find a different brush. Aha, I'll use this brush. That brush is just, I don't know what was wrong with it, but it wasn't making me happy. I just can't run long distances. I think the longest I've ever run at once was 10 miles. And that was pushing it, okay? That was really pushing it. And I ran with a former boss's wife. She's like a runner extraordinaire. And so she and I were running together for a little bit here and there. But yeah, the 10 miles, that was my max, you guys. So yeah, a marathon, which is typically what, 26.2 miles, right? No. I know Shani has run a marathon before, but not me. Won't be running a marathon. No. Okay, number 4. Do you think you would survive a zombie apocalypse? Hell yeah, I would. I've watched so many zombie apocalypse shows and movies. Yes, I would. I would know exactly what to do, I feel like. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but I feel like I would know exactly what to do. And so, yeah, I do feel like I would survive a zombie apocalypse. I mean, I just watched 28 Years Later, which is not really a zombie apocalypse, but kind of. Yeah, it is, kind of. Well, I don't know. Not really, because they're not really zombies. They've just been infected with the rage virus. So I don't know. But yes, I do feel like after watching The Walking Dead 5,000 times and World War Z and whatever else we've watched Fear of the Walking Dead. We've watched so many zombie apocalypse shows and movies. I got it. I can do it. Number 5, what are some things you should say at a funeral? I don't love funerals, but I mean, you know, I guess, I might have spoken at a funeral before. I mean, I don't know. When I spoke at the funeral that I spoke at, I just talked about my memories of the people that had passed away and told some funny stories just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, which is, you know, virtually impossible to do, of course, at a funeral. But, you know, my goal is to like talk about the funny things because my friends were killed in a car accident when I was in high school. And so I spoke at their funeral and their memorial service. And, you know, just talked about the goofy things that we would do together as friends and, you know, just to try to make some laughter in a really tough situation. But yeah, I just think, you know, talking about your memories of the person is really important and how much the person meant to you and, you know, that sort of thing, of course. Number 6, what would your pillow say to you if it could talk? Get up. Get up, Conger. Get up. Because I'm telling you, getting up out of bed is not my strong suit, okay? I hit snooze a lot, and I just don't want to get up. And lately, my sleep has been so crappy that, like, I just am like, no, I think I'll just sleep as long as I possibly can, you know? Because, yeah, I just don't really want to get up. So, yeah, getting up would be my pillow's directive. Get up. Number 7, right? Yeah. What is the oldest article of clothing you own and still wear? I'm going to go back around with this brush. Nothing additional on it, just to kind of blend that a little bit better. The oldest, I have a sweatshirt, a hoodie, that I have had since I was in college. And it's black, and it's got this little black and white little stars here and here on the arms. I guess it's just part of the brand. I don't even know what the brand is. But I have had that sucker since I was in college, and I still wear it. Absolutely, I still wear it. It's got a little bit of a tear, like here in the neck part. And it's, you know, it's old. And the sleeves, like they like kind of gather around your wrist. Those are getting a little weird. But other than that, it's still holding up pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Oops, I don't want to use that brush. So yeah, it's hanging in there, but it's really freaking old. I mean, it's 30 years old probably. So now what I'm going to do, I don't know, you guys, this might look really weird, but what I think I'm going to do, or what I am going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this shade here, this tadpole shade, all the way across my lid. And then what I'm going to do with this shade from Natasha Denona, this is put it right here towards the front of my lower lash line. So I'm kind of, well, I'm not cheating. I'm using the shade. I'm just taking the easy road out. So I'm going to use my Refer brush. This is a Refer 02 that Janny gave me. Love my Janny. Okay, number 8. If you worked at a circus, what would be your job? If I worked at a circus, what would be my job? I mean, I'm not getting up on the tightrope thingy. No. A clown. The clowns freak me out. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. Ooh, beautiful. God, I love this shade. And oops, I don't want to go too ham right there, sister. Slow down. That's not exactly what I wanted to do with that, but it's too late now. I took it up a little too high right there, but that's okay. So yeah, I guess I would be a clown. Or, you know what I would love to do is I would love, you know, do you guys remember when they used to have the motorcycles that would go around in that big, huge, like, not dome, like sphere, metal sphere, and they'd go around and around, upside down. God, I would love to be able to do that. I'd freak out, but I would love to be able to do that. But if I'm being realistic here, because that would be very terrifying for me, and I don't think I could do it, I'm just going to say I'll be a clown, right? Aren't clowns at the circus? I don't know. I haven't been to a circus in years, but I think clowns are at circuses, right? This is looking a little strange, but I think I can make it work. The shadow itself, the color is beautiful, but the way I placed it is looking a little funky, but I'm just going to keep going with it, okay? Keep going with it. Yeah. Okay. Leaving that there. I'm going to go to the other eyelid now. Let me go to the next set of questions. Number 9. What would you rather be stuck in? A house with someone you hate or be stuck in a house alone? Be stuck in a house alone. If I was stuck in a house with somebody that I hated, they're not making it out alive. Okay? Okay? Because there's only one person that I really hate in this world, and that person would not make it out alive. Okay? And I don't really want to go to prison. I would, gladly, but no. Number 10, would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and attractive? Poor and attractive. I am poor and attractive, right? I mean, the thing is like, yeah, having lots of money is fun, sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never had lots of money. I would assume it's fun, but I do think that wealth can make people ugly because of the way they behave. You know, it's just, wealth becomes the thing that's like so the most important thing to them, and so, and then it's like, ew, gross. In my mind, that's gross. So I would much rather be poor and attractive and happier that way, I think, you know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think money is everything. I mean, yeah, I think it makes your life easier in a lot of ways. Sure, absolutely. I mean, there have been times where I've had more money than other times, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. But at the same time, I've never been what you would call rich, ever, 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 ever. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I already answered the question. So let's move on. Number 11. If you were to enter the witness protection program and had to change your identity, what would your name be? I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to give that away in a video, because what happens if I do have to do that? I mean, Jan, Shani, and I, all three of us together, might have to go into the witness protection program. So I don't think any of us should be giving away our assumed names, right? Because I don't have one yet. I don't know what it would be. Something fancy, though, I would like, you know? Something completely different from my current name. Like Anastasia or something like that, you know? Just something real fancy sounding. That would be cool. Okay, I'm going to leave this alone. And now I'm going to go back into Dandy, the Age of Opulence shade and just kind of, I don't know what here. I could bring the green all the way over to the edge here, but then I'm going to totally lose the dandy shade, so I don't really want to do that. Okay, actually, I think I might know what you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into the Hella shade, actually. This one here, and just plop a little bit of this with my finger on the outer edge of the shimmer shade and see if maybe that kind of makes it easier for that to, oh yeah, okay, I like that. That'll make it easier, I think, for it to blend into the purple. Okay, instead of having that harsh, I mean, it's still kind of harsh. Actually, I'm going to take this all the way out to the edge here. I am kind of losing the dandy shade, but I'm okay with it because I like that. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, I figured it out. I'm going to use this shade, or this brush here from Blend Bunny. Okay, keep going. Number 12, what is your favorite holiday? Probably Christmas, I guess. Yeah, probably Christmas. I don't know. After my mom has passed, holidays are tough for me and my family because we always really miss my mom. And my mom's favorite holiday, my mom's favorite everything was Christmas. So, you know, like, it's tough. But, I mean, also, it's kind of like a time for us to, like, really remember her, too. Which is kind of a double-edged sword, you know? So, but yeah, probably Christmas. And I'm getting real sad here. Let's liven it up. Let's bring it up a notch. Number 13, have you ever gone a day without wearing underwear? Have I ever gone I mean, yeah, probably. But I prefer to wear underwear. I just do. I just feel more comfortable in underwear. I mean, probably TMI, but yeah, no, I don't really, I usually wear underwear. Yeah. Number 14, have you ever approached a stranger, said something random, and then they ended up becoming your friend? Oh, huh. That's a good question. I don't think so. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure that, I would assume, excuse me, I would assume that, oh, no. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. So when I was in the 8th grade, that's right, I forgot all about this. When I was in the 8th grade, I went to a poetry contest thing, or like a poetry workshop that my 8th grade English teacher entered me into because he really liked my poetry. And he's like, you know, I think you would do really well at this little gathering thing, workshop thing at the University of Oregon. So he signed me up and I went to that. And I actually met a girl by the name of Sarah, just, you know, randomly. She and I were in this same little workshop thing together. And I started talking to her. I don't even remember what the hell I said, but I started talking to her and she and I became friends. We're not friends anymore, but we were friends for years after that, actually. So yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm just going to go around the edge of this with the dandy shade just to kind of, I don't know, make it look more cohesive if I can. Yeah, I like that better because that was going to be real difficult for me to get that green shade to incorporate with the dandy shade. No, thank you. I couldn't do it. I mean, if I'd really kept at it, maybe. That brown shade from the Mini Glam, holy crap, you guys. That's going to look so bizarre. But if I just put a little bit of it on the lid, maybe that'll look better on the front of the lower lash line. I don't know. Or, okay, I think I have an idea, but I'm gonna go back around with the midnight shade. This video is gonna be 3 hours long. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go back into Catch and go around the outside edge of this again. Okay, keep going. Number 15, what is your favorite smell or scent? Sandalwood, absolute favorite. And I just found a perfume at TJ Maxx that's pear and sandalwood mixed together, which sounds like kind of maybe a strange combination, but oh my God, it smells so good. And my husband loves it, so that's great. I wore it over the weekend. He was like, oh, that smells really nice. He was giving me some neck kisses. That was nice. Number 16, what would you do if you won $1 million? Oh, travel. I would travel. Absolutely. Travel. Okay, there's 2 more questions. What is the biggest lie you ever told? Are you ready for this? I've talked about this before. on my channel, but I'll tell you again. So my maiden last name is Ryan. And when I was in high school, I told people that Meg Ryan was my aunt. And there was one guy in particular who believed me. I don't think anyone else really believed me, but I can totally convince this guy that my aunt was Meg Ryan. And he totally believed it. Totally believed it. People were like, oh, let me see a picture of her and you guys together. I'm like, oh, no, she doesn't do that. And, you know, this was back before we had cell phones with pictures on it. So, you know, I'd have to bring like a physical photo. And I'm like, oh, no, we don't take pictures together. She doesn't like that kind of stuff. And like, just stupid. But I know this one guy totally believed me. I mean, he like would defend me. Why would she make something like that up, you guys? That is ridiculous. She wouldn't lie about that. So to this day, that guy probably thinks that my aunt is Meg Ryan still to this day. Maybe not. Maybe he finally figured out that I was full of crap. But anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the shade. And I'm just going to, with my finger, and I'm just going to plop it right in between these two shades. And that's how I'm going to incorporate this shadow into the look. And that's it. Okay? Because I'm not putting this on my lower lash line. It's just going to look too stupid. So I'm just going to do this. So this might be like, well, so I'm not cheating. I'm using it. But you can't really see it that well. Yeah, you can kind of. Sort of you can. But not really. Because the green is so bold, it's kind of eating up the brown shade, which is fine. A brown shade is just not going to jive very well with this look. Okay. And then the last question is, what does the word okay mean to you? I mean, I don't know. I guess it just means okay. I mean, I use okay all the time. You know, my husband will say, I'll get dinner for us tonight. Okay. Or, I mean, I say the word okay text-wise and verbally all the time. So, yeah. My kids, though, think that depending on how I say okay, they can read my mood, which I think is interesting. Because a lot of times I will use punctuation. And if I don't use punctuation, then they think I'm mad. So like, mostly my daughter. Like there's been a few times where I've answered okay, just simply, and I don't ever put okay. I put okay, like I spell the whole word out. Anyway, and if I don't spell the whole word out, or if I don't use it, well, no, because I don't ever, if I don't use an exclamation point, she will usually call me and say, are you mad? Are you mad at me? Did I do something? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Hold on, I'm going to go back into the Hella palette shade again, one more time, just to add that in one more time. And I'm like, no, I'm not mad. What do you mean? Well, you didn't use an exclamation point. I'm like, okay, well, I'm busy or something, or I don't know. I'm texting you on the fly here. So I didn't think of it. But yeah, my daughter, I don't know if my son actually, scratch that, it's just my daughter thinks I'm mad if I don't use punctuation. Okay, I'm done. I don't know how I feel about this look. So I'm going to go clean up the little bit of fallout I have, do the rest of my stuff, and I'll come back. So this, of course, is my finished look for July's Fab Five episode with my dearest Janny Boo. I cannot wait to see what shadows she chose and see her look come together, because it never fails. Every single time we do these videos together, I always wish that I had gotten the shades that she got every time. I do like how this look came together. I do. I think it works. I was not real sure, but now that it's all on, I like it. So let me show you everything I have on my face, and then I will review the eyeshadows with you. Okay, so if you've been here for a while, you know what base product I'm using. It's the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation in the shade 21 Neutral Fair. I'm loving it. CoverGirl Clean Professional Loose Setting Powder and Translucent. Bronzer, the LYS No Limits Bronzer in Motivate. Blush, I use my Ciate London Marbled Light blush in Dusk. I just grabbed this out of my drawer. I thought it would look nice with the look, and I think it looks nice. Upper lid liner, the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof, Waterproof Felt Tip Liner in black, of course. Mascara, Sky High from Maybelline, New York, of course. Can I say that again? I'll try to stop. Lips, I use the Lip Icon from Beauty Moon Cosmetics in the shade M10 or M10. I love this lip product. It goes with everything. And I think that's it. I didn't put a highlighter on. Yeah, okay. So for my lower lash lines, I use the shade out of the Age of Opulence palette from Beauty Bay. I used Dandy. And then I used a little bit of, good, I'm gonna drop this on the ground, the shade out of the Midnight palette, which was Catch. And I really like the way those two performed on my upper lids. I think they look really good together. Wonderful. This was the shade though that really threw me for a loop. The one out of the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette, this shimmer shade. This is broken, so I gotta be really careful. And I think just kind of plopping it on my lid worked okay. I mean, you can sort of see it, but not really kind of hit it, which I just think if I had put it down here, it would have looked really bizarre. So this shade here out of the Ladybug Glow palette, the Pond Lily, is absolutely stunning. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful and dynamic and fun, and that wonderful formulation that I just am just wild about. And then I did put double-sided in my inner corners too. And I really liked putting this towards the outer part of the lid. I was just gonna really struggle with meshing the green from the Pond Lily palette Tadpole with Dandy from Beauty Bay Age of Opulence. It would have looked too bizarre. So, and maybe this looks bizarre to some of you, I don't know, but I think it worked really well. I do. I really like it. I think, you know, this may not be my favorite Fab Five combo that I've put together thus far when I do these collabs with Janny, but it's okay. You know, I like it. I think it's different, and I was able to put it together. Sure. So let me know what you think of the look. Let me know what you think of all the shadows I put together. Let me know if you have any of these palettes in your collection. Let me know what you think of the answers to the questions. I cannot wait to watch Janny's video. Of course, like I said, I don't want to say that word again. I can't wait to watch Jan's video and see her eye look come together and listen to her answers to the questions. And a huge love-filled shout out to Shani for providing us with our questions for this month's episode of Fab Five. And Jan and I will see you again next month. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.